Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast. My name is Shannon Bellum. You can find me as Bellummake everywhere else on the interwebs. I am most active on Instagram, so that's the place to see my, most up to date things that I'm working on and extra little stuff about things that are going on in my life. And yeah, I'm also on Ravelry. I have a little tiny group of about, 25 or 30 people that check in. And you can also find my show notes on Ravelry. I set up a discussion page for every episode for you to look at. I do that on Ravelry. I know a lot of people put it in the down bar, in the down box. I do mine on Ravelry because Ravelry links to shops and places where you can find the things that I am working with if you are so inclined. Like you can get the patterns and you can get the yarns and stuff. Because I don't think I'm working with anything that's exclusive, so that's a good thing, right? So welcome back, returning viewers. Welcome new viewers. I don't know if I said that. I'm coming to you from northern New Jersey. It's a rather warm day today. It's humid, really humid, and like kind of muggy. It's a little early in the season for muggy weather, but nevertheless, we've had such a gloomy week that I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. I'm recording a day later than I normally do. I normally record on Saturday, but I am recording on Sunday instead because my son graduated yesterday. He walked in his ceremony. He actually graduated in January, but he walked in his ceremony at Hampshire College. Here's the little commencement card. It was the best commencement I have ever been to, and I have been to plenty because I am a university administrator and I do attend plenty of ceremonies, way more than I would like to. In fact, my college's ceremony is today, but I begged out because I was at my son's, and I also picked up this beautiful t-shirt. Look at this. I can't wait to wear this to a Fiberfest. I just think it's so funny. These are not our students. So Hampshire College, if you're unfamiliar, is a very, very liberal college that prides itself on its individuality of the students. So that's why their students are not sheep that follow sheep. So they don't follow the flock. And they do have a really cool farm right on campus that you can walk to from the academic buildings. It's really, really nice and just a nice escape and beautiful, beautiful Amherst, Massachusetts. So so I was basically gone all day yesterday from 6 a.m. till about 7 p.m. And by the time I got home, I just wanted to eat and go to bed. So yeah, off on a really good tangent. Go, go me. I am wearing my finished object. This is I'll take it off in a sec, but this is the Impressionist shawl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. And I finished it on Wednesday of this week. Super happy with it and so excited to wear it to the office and to any events and things that I go to that are a little bit cool, but not so cold that I would need a sweater. I actually wore my Durami sweater yesterday because that's how cold it was here and how cold it was upstate. I think it was about 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Really, really cold. Too chilly to be out without a coat even. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, here's my shawl, my finished shawl. I really, really love it. I'm so happy with the colors that I chose. I was a little concerned this green would be overwhelming because, of course, it was a mystery knit along that Helen hosted through April and May. I think it was a 2-month knit along. And no, it was shorter because she did 4 clues. And you can still, I guess if you're working on it and you still haven't finished, you have until... You have until the end of May. So I made it into the finished object thread, and now I'm eligible along with the thousands and thousands of other people to win something. But I think it's just like a perfect, delicate. Let me put it on Martha for a sec before I talk about what she's wearing. I think it's like a perfect, delicate, summery shawl, and I'm so happy my knee-jerk reaction with any mystery knit along, you could keep this in mind for your own self, was to pull neutrals to do like a whole neutral color scheme, because I figured it didn't matter how the colors laid out, it would just be neutral and wearable. So I had done that for Joji Locatelli's Mystery Knit Along last year, her starting point Mystery Knit Along. I picked all shades of gray that worked together beautifully, and I was really happy with the results. So I'm just so happy that, like, so what happened to me, well, the way I ended up with these colors was that I had picked, Helen said to be inspired by, find some inspiration from a painting, an Impressionist painting. So I found a Impressionist painting by, there were only two well-known female artists, and now I'm gonna blank on, in traditional me teaching fashion, I am gonna blank on the other artist. One is Mary Cassatt, and the one that I chose, her name is Bertrude, or Bertrice. I'm gonna put it on the screen because I don't remember her last name, but it was a painting rather, of a woman knitting. So I'll also put that painting on screen so you can see what I use for inspiration. And once I took a look at that and I saw how she painted, I picked colors inspired by her painting. So yeah, especially this white, this white right here. It's not really a white, but it's a cream. This cream colored yarn. It's a hedgehog fiber potluck color that I bought at some yarn shop. I don't even remember where, last year. But the white in the painting is a lot like this white. It's a white that's made up of a lot of colors, and that's pretty much how, when you're painting, that's what you do. White isn't really white unless it's Ellsworth Kelly, but you know what I mean. Generally, Impressionists, the painters, portrait painters, when they paint white, they're not really using white, they're using multiple colors. So I thought this was like a perfect impressionistic white color. And then there was a lot of green grass, so I picked green. Yeah, I'm rambling. Sorry. So I told you the white is hedgehog fibers. The blue and pink is one color, so you can really get a good gander at it in that, in this lace section right here. It was one color by Garn Story called Sushi Mit Belushi, and then the green is a Ching fiber color called Lost Wind. And Sushi Mit Belushi and Lost Wind are colors that you can buy directly from those, or from stores or stockists that stock their yarn. These are regular colors in their what am I trying to say? Collections. Collections. So yeah. That's my finished object. Isn't it so pretty? I'm so happy with it. So on to whips. I don't have any sewing this week, so I am gonna talk a little bit about that at the end. But basically, I'm just gonna talk knitting. Should I put it back on? No, because it's warm. It's hot. My room is getting warm. My craft room is getting warm. So Martha looks marvelous, doesn't she? She always looks so good. She is wearing my Humulus sweater by Isabel Kramer. I am hosting a knit along, which you have plenty of time to join if you are interested. Sorry, I'm just gonna grab a little drink. I'm having OJ today. I'm doing a weird fast, where I don't get to eat until noon, so orange juice really kind of satisfies my hunger. Okay. So yeah, I am more than halfway through the color work, and you can see the way it's fitting Martha, which means this is the way it'll fit me. And I'm really happy with it. I love the way it is coming out. I love the colors. You know what? Let me take it off so you can see it up close. I am alternating skeins, which is if you saw the two strands of the rusty brown color, that's why. Because the yarn that I'm using for the main color, oh my God, look at that! It's so pretty. Yeah, so the yarn I'm using for the main color is a Jill Draper Make stuff. This is it. That's the skein. So you can see there's a lot of variability. It has my hair on it in the skein. So I didn't really want to risk there being like a break in the color, especially when you get to the miles and miles of stockinette, which is going to probably happen about here. So going all the way down. Yeah, so Drill Draper makes stuff. This is her, hang on one sec. Sorry, I feel a little disorganized today. It's probably going to make this longer than it needs to be. This is her Rockwell base, which is a 3-ply yarn. Here, let me hold it back up again while I talk about it. It's a 3-ply yarn. That dark brown that you see is consistent through every color that she makes. She makes gorgeous, gorgeous colors, and they're all. There are many that are similar, but she always gives them different names, which I like. It is a 100% Cormo Merino crossbred sheep. So, there you go. DK weight. So I'm using DK weight. It's not focusing. Focus. There we go. I am using, so the pattern called for US size 6, which would be a 4.25 millimeter. I'm using a US size 5, 3.75 millimeter. I feel like I use 5 for everything. That's the needle that I have the most of, the size needle I have the most of. So I am using a 3.5 millimeter. I had to go down a size in order to get gauge. The blue yarn that I am using, and you can very definitely tell that it's blue, right? In this skein. Oh, look at how the camera just made Martha disappear. It's kind of weird. There she is, and she's gone. Okay, the blue yarn is a Plucky Knitters Cold as Ice. It is a worsted weight yarn, but I think it's working really well. I had said last week that I don't really think there's a huge difference between worsted and DK, for the most part. Though I've also heard that, so I want to just show you. See if you can see those strands. I've also heard that Plucky Knitters yarn is a little bit on the thin side, so that might be why it's working just fine for me. And the in this case, in terms of the color work, I am just doing a yoke, so I don't think it's that big a deal. Probably if I was doing a whole entire colorwork sweater, I wouldn't want to mix weights like this, but I feel like it is working, and I would totally do it again. In fact, when I look at these two strands together, the blue, the Plucky Knitters, actually looks a little thinner to me than the Jill Draper Make Stuff. So there's that. There's that. But I am loving this knit. This is like most Isabel Kramer patterns. It knits very well. It moves very, very, very smoothly. The instructions aren't overwhelmingly long. The chart is not a lot of rows. It's only 35 rows, and the repeat I don't think is more than 10 or 12 stitches. So it's something easy to remember. And usually it's like I'm doing 5 stitches of one color and 3 of the other for the entire row. So that's super easy to remember. So once you get started, it's easy to just, kind of pay attention to other things, whether it's like watching a show or talking to people. So this has been a really nice social knit. And once I get down to the miles of stockinette, it's going to be a very, very, very nice social knit. Or as I like to say, a knit for grading, because I'm grading again, starting not this coming week, but the following week. I signed up to do summer sessions, and the funny thing is I signed up for 2 classes to teach 2 classes that I always teach, and then I also threw my hat in the ring on a brand new class. I created this brand new course I know I have another whip to show you. I created a brand new course based on knitting, really, crafting. And it's about volunteerism and crafting, and like the benefits of being a volunteer and being a craftivist. And I just pitched the idea, and I found out Friday that the class is running, and now I need to really put pen to paper and write some lectures and create some assignments and make this happen by next Monday, not Memorial Day. We have Memorial Day weekend next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. Not by Memorial Day, but by the day after my class needs to be completely created and up and running. So I'm going to give birth this week basically to a class about knitting and about the benefits of knitting and about the benefits of volunteering and how to tie those together. And yeah, gonna be a busy week. I hope I have my hands on my knitting needles a lot rather than on my keyboard, which I have a feeling I'm going to be spending a lot of time on my keyboard the next couple weeks. Pretty funny. I'm actually pretty popular with the students, so I blame them for my glass making. I'm thrilled. I know I'm sort of complaining right now, but I'm actually really happy about it. It's going to be a good thing, and once I get the class hammered out, I'll be able to teach it, whatever, at a drop of a hat. It's what we call a new prep. So it's a new course prep. And yeah, I'm gonna bit off maybe a little more than I could chew. I'm gonna be teaching as well as creating. Yay. Should be fun. My next work in progress, and actually this is my last work in progress because I really worked hard on this baby because I wanted to get it done. And by the way, that picot bind off is super simple. If you've never done a picot bind off, don't be scared. It's basically casting off several stitches and then casting on a few stitches and then casting off. You can there's a lot of variations on picot, on the picot bind off. But yeah, that's a fun knit. You guys should do it. Totally do it. If you haven't. So my next one is one of my own designs. It is my worsted weight shawl, which if you're a returning viewer, you know that I got the yarn last week to get going on this. So and after the color work and when I finished that shawl, I really just kind of went to town on this. I had a general idea of what I wanted to produce shape-wise, and so I just decided to go for it. And one of the things that happens when you're designing knits is that you're often knitting and ripping out because you're trying to figure out, a new way of doing something, of course. Especially with a shawl, I feel like there are some formulas for shawls out there, but I hate following a path someone else already beat down. So I want to create my own path. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm just going to show you the piece that I worked on. So if you were here last week, you know that I had gotten, let me show you the tag. I had gotten from Long Island Yarn and Farm this color called Pink Clove. It's beautiful. It's a blush. So you can really see that it's blush up against Martha, who's wearing a white t-shirt. So you see that blush color. And I've been really obsessed with this blush color. So I have it coming up in a couple things. It's pretty much the base color of my Jerami sweater. So yeah, it's Pink Clove. I can show you the tag right here. It's from a basically one woman, superwoman farmer out on Long Island, which isn't that far from me. I'll actually be driving right by her farm next week when I go out to the Hamptons. And this is a alpaca and US merino blend with a little bit of nylon in it, which creates a tiny bit of shimmer. So it's really beautiful yarn. I was waiting for 3 skeins of this so that I could begin designing this beautiful shawl. And yeah, so I want to just show you what I knit this week. Let's see. So it's garter stitch. It's a garter stitch shawl. I've used this unique Long Island Yarn and Farm yarn that was a collaboration with Christy Glass. Let me show you it up close. So it looks kind of purple, but it's a hot pink mixed with a natural gray color. That's this one right here. It's called Pink is Life. I haven't seen it. I don't think Tabitha is selling it anymore. But if you are interested, when my shawl's all done and you really want to make it using the same yarns that I did, she has other amazingly gorgeous blend medleys of yarn in the same weight that you can easily substitute, and it will look equally beautiful. So I mostly knit this. So at the graduation ceremony yesterday, I knit this right here. And this is a full skein of the pink clove. Each of her worsted weight skeins are 100 yards. This is a full skein plus a little bit more, another half or so. So you can see that I have basically this center portion here, and I'm working on the second one, so I'm right here. What I'm holding is going to be the top edge of it. I am planning a trim, which will pick up these two center stitches that are hanging out right here in the center. Because this has a spine. It has a triangular shaped spine. And it's done in sections, similar to a lot of, if you're familiar with Stephen West patterns, this shawl is done in sections. And yeah, so far I am just thrilled with it. I'm super happy with the way it's coming out. I love those two colors together. Let me put them up close so you can get a good gander. I love the way they're working together. I love the different directions of the garter stitch that's happening. There will be two other yarn colors that I'll be adding. I don't have them near me. Do I? Oh wait, I do. 1 sec. Sorry, just gonna bend down. Show you right now. These are beautiful. I picked two colors by Stonewall. Has a nice black fuzzy there. This one here, the gold one, is called Tobacco 2. They do Tobacco 1, 2, and 3, different gradients of the same color. And then this is the Scoured White, the natural white color. So those are going to be added into this pattern with these other two colors. And also, these are also worsted weight, and they will be, the whole shawl is probably going to be garter stitch, I think. Not quite sure. I know I'm doing striping with these two in the section that these two will be in, but I haven't quite come up with if I'm going to do any other stitch, fun stitch, like some eyelets or something like that. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I kind of like to do the parts that I know, that I picture. I do a little knitting, and then I see if I sketch too, so see if the what I've knitted is matching my sketch and the ideas that I have in my head about the pieces, and then I just go for it, finish that, and then step back and see if the next part that I'm going to be adding is going to work with what I've done. So it's yeah, that's the way I operate when I'm designing. So yeah, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be so warm. This yarn, it's so warm, and it smells so good. Really love it. Really love it. She put it with some some beautifully scented soap, and it still smells like that. It still has that like sort of slightly flower like smell. So those are the things that mostly took my attention this week. I'm going to be plugging away on a couple. I have two other works in progress that are also my designs. So I'm hoping to like get back to them. One of them is a fingering weight shawl, which I realize is way more pertinent for this time of year when we don't really want to knit heavyweight things. But this year, in terms of my own designs, I decided that I was going to take it easy and not push myself. Like, I really kind of just wanted to let me choose to knit whatever it is I wanted to knit, because I was really feeling the pressure last year to pump out a lot of designs. I just felt like I needed to create some space for myself, like create and some idea, give people an idea or vision of what it is that I'm about. And I thought that like the best way to do that would be to pump out a bunch of designs. So I tried to do a design a month, and I pretty much made it. I pretty much did a design a month, and I decided to ease off on that and do half as many this year. So far I've released 2 designs this year, and I have 3 on the needles. So I have yarn for 2 more. So that's 2, 4, 7. So if I get all those released this year, that'll be good. And the other 2 that I'm going to design, I have they're pullovers, and one of them I want to wear to Rhinebeck. So that's my plan. That's my knitting plan. I am going to be doing I'm going to be knitting those little booty shorts soon. I think that'll be my next cast on. That's my plan anyway. I also, I don't know about you, but I follow Ysolda Teague on Instagram, and she is going to do a mystery knit along this summer of a shawl. So I signed up probably within 30 minutes of her posting about it on Instagram, because I had so much fun with Helen Stewart's mystery knit along, and I have never knit one of Ysolda's patterns, so I thought it would be really fun to give her pattern a try. And this sounds like a really cool, easygoing knit along. It is a fingering weight shawl, and it is 3 skeins, and I'm planning to use stash. It should be a good stash buster for me. I'm hoping it's 3 different colors, but I suspect it's all one color, because that's what she's showing. She's working with La Bien Amie, what am I saying? Singles base. So I'm planning to use, if I have to use all of one color, I'm planning to use these. These are by Acid Veiled Dye Works, and it is one of her, it's called Nebula Colt. It's one, look at, oh my God, it's so pretty. This is a silk superwash blend, 70% superwash merino, 30% silk. And I think this will make the most amazing drapey shawl. I was sort of thinking I might use this for one of my own designs, but if I have to use 3 skeins, I don't want to buy any more yarn. I'm trying not to buy yarn. Not that, I mean, of course, if something's amazing and beautiful, you can tell. I have no stash acquisition this week because I just didn't get any. I have 2 club shipments that are on the way, and then I did buy, I made a purchase this week, which I'll show you next time. But anyway, I really want to use for these other people's designs. I'm really trying hard to use yarns that I already have. So I do have 3 skeins of this Nebula Colt color, and I have had it for about 10 months. So I really want to use it. Look at how gorgeous. Look at that. It like almost glows. It's such a, that's the silk. That's the silk content in the yarn that is really making that glow. So yeah, that's, oh, and in sewing news, I have a tiny bit of sewing news, and then I'm going to end because I didn't have much. I forgot to tell you too, I had an upper respiratory infection this week, which really put me to bed like pretty much every night at 8 o'clock. It was terrible. So I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm on my 4th day of meds, and definitely like things are clearing out, and I'm feeling a lot better. But in sewing news, I decided I'm going to make a kilt. So I'm going to take you along that ride. That'll be fun. I have ordered a book because I want to do really authentic techniques where appropriate. And so I have a book coming from a professor from Hamilton College in upstate New York. She's a geology professor, but she is the go-to voice of her generation on quilt making, and she's written a pretty extensive book called The Art of Quilt Making, and I'll put a picture in here of the book so you can see it. I don't have the book yet. I ordered it, so I'm hoping it'll come this week, and maybe by the next time I see you, I will have it, and I'll be able to talk to you a little bit more. The hardest part, I think, about making your own kilt or even having a kilt made for you is picking the plaid. The plaid is, unless you're like from a Scottish or Irish family or British, some British families have them too, it's really hard to pick plaid. And I stumbled upon a plaid that is in my family lineage. I had no idea that they were such an esteemed Scottish family, but it is the Guthrie family. I remembered my aunt, my mom's younger sister, saying that my grandfather's mother was a Guthrie. Well, it turns out that's an esteemed ancient Scottish family, and I had no problem when I used their name. I found in multiple tartan factory databases I could find the plaid. So that is the plaid that I'm going to use for my kilt. And I can't wait to share it with you, like share the process of making this kilt. I think it's going to be a really fun adventure, and I'm planning to make at least one. I might make a second one. Because it turns out when you have an ancient family who is Scottish, there are multiple plaids. So they have a battle plaid, which is like earth tones of an earth tone version of your plaid, and they have a dress plaid, and then they have a kind of like an everyday plaid. So yeah, I am choosing one of those. I'm not going to do the battle one. I want a brighter plaid for my first one, but the battle one is super interesting. I think I want one because, my last name is Bellum, and that means war. So I don't know, just kind of goes together. I think I need it. So I will see you. I won't be recording next week because I am going to be out of town. I may take some footage of my trip and insert it in my next podcast, in podcast number episode 18. And also, exciting news-wise, the next time you see me, I won't have my braces anymore. They're coming off in a week, and I cannot wait. And you kind, amazing viewers, no one has asked me about them. But it turns out I had braces when I was a teenager. I'm going to tell you the nutshell story. I'll probably repeat it next time too. But I had braces when I was a teenager, and I did not wear my retainers. And pregnancy after pregnancy, my teeth got really, really screwed up, and they shifted. My upper teeth looked pretty good, but my lower teeth were really, really crooked. And I was having intermittent tooth pain throughout my 40s, and my dentist kept telling me, go get braces. You need braces again. And I finally bit the bullet and did it. So it's been 2 years that it's taken to get my teeth straight again. But it's going to be really, really nice to have them off. I already have, I won't show you, but in the back, she already took off the back ones this week. So next week, all of them come off and my retainers go in, and I'll have a permanent retainer on the bottom, so I won't have any more trouble with the bottom teeth. I'm so excited. So that is the story of why I have braces, and it was just like the better way to get my teeth fixed, and to, I don't know, hopefully look. My kids said to me, "You look younger, not in a good way, mommy." That's what. No, kids are so lovable and so kind, and just so real and authentic with us, aren't they? Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and help my little channel grow. And please like the video. It helps me get out in front of more people and views. And comment below. I read everything, and I comment back on practically all comments. So please take a look, and thank you for watching, and hope you have a great week, a couple weeks actually, and I will see you in about 10 or 12 days. Bye!